So we're pretty sure the crankshaft's kaput. Got some nasty grooves in it. I mic'd it. This one's horrible. I mean, over here, let me show you that. Well, it's like this. It's got grooves in it. So it's like, yeah, right here. I don't know if you can see that, but you can feel that bad right there. So I'm betting that ain't gonna polish out. Probably gonna have to go undersize on this baby. So I'm not a Cummins guy, but I learn new stuff every day. So Brian said you can go from this lousy 1.5 inch size accessory drive shaft to a 2-inch. And sure enough, after 1995, Cummins went to a 2-inch shaft. So this is aluminum. So basically, I'll probably just end up buying they come in a cast iron housing, the aftermarket. So I got to buy one with a helical cut gears. Anyway, here's the gear that was on the end. And I thought that would probably be pinned, but it's not. So when we were trying to undo that nut and we were holding this, we were just turning it on the shaft. But with an aluminum housing, I mean, if that's wore out and everything else is wore out, then guaranteed it just needs replaced. Anyway, so then you buy a new housing that's made for the larger bushing. Well, that's gonna suck. 6 of them, not hard. We need some jizz on those threads too, huh? Okay, liners are out. Pretty tight fit. That was a pretty good idea by Cummins. It's probably a lot better than their old counterbores. Mr. Griffey's in the shop. You looking for a bone? Yeah, he's checking out our work. Do those pistons smell worn out? Smell like carbon pretty bad, don't they, huh? What do you think of that camshaft? Is it okay? I got a new one, Griff. Yeah, those are dirty bolts. We'll get those cleaned up soon. Yeah, those are chrome rods. What else can you smell? I smell a box of injectors. Everybody needs injectors, don't they? Huh. Yeah. So what have we been doing? We got the heads disassembled. Rods are cleaned up. I've been house bitching this general area with a mop. When the truck goes outside, gets steam cleaned up, good. Had a lot of guys tell me remove the hood. Well, I'd love to, but I can't get the damn forklift in here in a pallet. So when it goes outside and gets steam cleaned, it'll come back in the other way, and we can come in with a pallet and pick up the hood and get it off. Because when we go to put that motor back in, it'll have the pan, all the accessories. So we need to go in without the hood. So I steam cleaned up the bell housing and the block. Counter bores looked really good. Really good. It's got standard liners in it. These are a lower press fit liner, plus they also fit really tight right here. And so if this gets wore, you can actually buy oversized liners to restore that without sleeving it. You got a bone over here you want me to get? Where is it? Where's your bone? Show me. Where is it? Oh, I see it. He stuck it over here. Oh, there it is. Get your bone. He hides them all over. Oh, that's the tranny. So our old one was a 16713 RTLO. This is an RTL 189 A is what we're putting in it. So what I've discovered is everything on this engine lubricated by oil is wore out. And I'm actually quite concerned with this. That ain't polishing out. So the crank's going up there to this guy. If we got to grind a crank, we'll grind a crank. What else? Oh, the rocker arm bushings and shafts are wore out. I haven't tore apart the cam follower boxes. I'm sure they're wore out. Compressors wore out. Like I said, anything lubricated by oil on this thing is wore out. The piston pin bushings, all that. Just everything's wore out. Matthew Marquette, right? He's sending me the tooling to be able to time this. So since I'm putting a new cam in and we'll do new followers and all that, we're gonna have to time it. And you do that through these gaskets. And so my plan is, and you can tell me I'm wrong, go ahead, is I'm just going to get these thickness gaskets. So it looks like we're using a 37 on that one and a 42 on these. And yes, we've numbered them. So these do not have shim gaskets in them. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think that's why they didn't leak. The more gaskets you stack, the bigger mess you got. So that's where I'm going to start, right or wrong, whatever. I've had a lot of advice from people on how to do it. So these are the injectors. These are 307 8194s. These are genuine Cummins reman. I paid $150 a piece for those, and they don't want my cores. So my old injectors are 8195s. And Brian looked it up, and he said the 8194s, which are the reman ones, flow the same amount of fuel as the 8195s. You cannot find 8195s. And Brian said it's probably because they made a machining mistake on the tips. So the only difference between these, the 8195s and the 8194s, he said there was 10 thousandths of an inch difference in the size of the injector holes. And the 94s are 10 thousandths of an inch smaller. So it's not going to make any difference. For $150 for a reman injector versus anywhere from $500 to $700, and they want your core back, I'll take the $150 ones every day. I have not done a Cummins. This is my first Cummins. I know some of you think I'm dumb, I'm stupid. I'm not. I've done a lot of engines, not a Cummins. So I like to ask a lot of questions every time I can get a chance, somebody that knows something. So what's the skinny on this motor? Why is it so crapped up and wore out? Has nothing to do with the guy I bought it from. I bought this from my friend in Petaluma, Lauren Morelli. It didn't have oil pressure when Lauren got it. So here's the deal. Neelis and Sons owned it. They take care of their stuff. They have nice equipment. This is a glider truck. This is a 98 379 Peterbilt. I believe, and I could be wrong, they took the running gear out of a 1990, put it in this 98, and that consisted of an N14 engine. At some point after they did that, they bought a Cummins Recon N14 and put in it, which is that engine. And the build date on that engine is 2003. Then they sold it to a landscaping company, and I'm just going to guess, no offense to the landscaping company, this truck did way too much idling and never got, oil changes when it should have. And that's what did the damage. Truck odometer has 500,000 miles on it. I don't know how much is on this motor, but even at 500,000 miles, if it's maintained, it shouldn't look like this. These pistons are absolutely horrible, caked with soot. Now, I could go show you the heads. We've got them disassembled over here by the door, ready to load up in the truck and go. So I don't know if I showed you this, but if you look in the intake on, let's see, I think this is cylinder number 1. Yeah, it is. So it was black in this one and just oily in this one. And you go down here to the valves and you've got horrible black pits and stuff where it wasn't sealing. You ready to go? Are you ready? You tired of this? Are you tired of it? I'll let you outside. You want to go outside? There's probably deer out there. Well, watch out for the deer. Yeah, there's tons of deer out here tonight. I'm sure he can smell them. That's why he wanted to come out here. It's dark 30, and that's when they come. So anyway, I think that two of the intake valves were extremely tight. And so it was literally blowing soot back up in the intake. The valves are wore out. I mic'd them, they're wore out. So again, like I say, everything on this that was lubricated by oil is gut shot. It's just gone, wore out. So everybody keeps asking me why I don't put a cat in here. So here's the deal. Where am I going to find a cat? If I end up with 15 grand on this overhaul, and I got a brand new N14 that'll last me forever, what's it going to cost me to go buy a cat motor and put in this? If I go to the junkyard, truck wrecking yard, buy something used, and 6 months down the road it blows up or I got to overhaul it, a cat motor's not going to just drop right in here. There's a lot of fitment issues. The radiator, plumbing, the rear motor mounts. Front motor mounts are pretty standard. There's just a ton of crap. Drive line's going to get cut off because it ain't going to fit. Charge air cooler, piping, electrical. It just costs more to change something over. So, yeah, I got a lot of cat equipment. I am a cat guy, but there's nothing wrong with that motor if it's taken care of. So I'm going to build it right, and Jeff's going to win. That's all I can say. So there. So I've got all my wires tied up, got the PTO or the pump. Got a strap around the frame holding that up, and the drive line. Got everything cleaned up. I need to get the batteries out and then crawl under here and disconnect the wires to the lights, and then I'll take it outside and we'll tip the hood back up. We'll get a pallet and a forklift, set something soft on the pallet, and then just zip those bolts out on the hinges and remove the hood. I don't even remember when we brought this in. I think at the end of this week, PD will have been in the shop 2 weeks. So I'll bet it's 2 more weeks at least before I get all the machine work done, depending on how far the back of the line I'm at. So somebody said I needed to check how this was wired up. So you got one positive cable that goes here, this one goes here, and then your grounds. So is there a problem with that? It's never done this before, so I don't know how old these batteries are. They could be quite old. I'll have to see if somebody put the date on them or not. But maybe Lauren knows. Maybe they're the same batteries that's been in the truck forever. It's kind of odd. You got room for 4 batteries, but you only got 3. Kenworth has 4. But PD's only got 3. Maybe it's because it's got a Cummins. Cummins isn't hard to turn over. I might as well undo the rest of these cables.
Probably going to be chopping that off, putting a new end on it, because that's probably corroded in there 9 miles if I got room. If not, I'm going to be making another cable. Mabel. Alright, let's see if we can get this off. There we go. Oh, that's fiberglass. That's interesting. Very interesting. just throw all those washers away. They're corroded and nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Oh, got one more cable to get off here. I didn't take a picture of that. Sure hope I can figure out how that goes. I completely forgot. Maybe I'll do that. Just take a quick picture of how that all went on there. So this one he went clear over to here. And this one went between there. That shouldn't be too hard, but I'm gonna take a picture anyway. And then, if this ain't right, tell me how it's supposed to be. So your grounds are all connected together.
Oh, so you got, oh, I see. These two batteries are a different brand. This is an X side, and these are what? That's an X side. I don't know what those are, but those are different batteries. So I can maybe see Alright, Petey's out. I've been house bitching again. I mopped this square, some of this. It's been years since it's been mopped. I didn't do that. I'm gonna get my grandkids down in here this weekend. Make them start mopping. What I'd really like to do is just grind the thing and paint it cat yellow. Grind all this no good latex paint off. That's what I should have done the first go around. All right, so it is Friday. I got to go to a viewing. I want to get back. I'll finish up the video. And you're completely up to date with everything that's gone on. Like I said, block's ready to go to the machine shop. I checked my emails. Apparently, Saya Freight is bringing my overhaul kit, and it will not be here till Monday. So tomorrow, Saturday, I'm gonna bust out the Hotsy and go to town on the Peterbilt. So hope you enjoyed the video. This is quite a project.